25
can't forget about that.
Christmas.
25 Sleighs of Christmas.
Slay
16 coming at you with a classic.
Definitely classic, man.
Hands down.
Nightmare
How is this not going to be on the list?
Before Christmas, yes. Nightmare
Before Christmas.
We have been saving this for whenever we needed a little break from the shit storm that we've built up against us. And we thought, why not, man? I remember seeing this movie in theaters as a kid, and it's still just as special to me today as it was back then.
I could not agree with that more. That's exactly how I felt watching it this time. It just, I feel like my opinion on it has never changed. Since childhood, I think consistently this movie has been just as good as it was originally.
It was, man, and like I said, seeing it in theaters as a kid, it blew my mind. I love the three, I forget their names really, but the three little kids that steal Santa was always my favorite. Those little shits. It was like the devil.
It's like Lock, Shock, and Barrel, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, I just always remembered them by their gimmicks, I guess you could say. And Oogie Boogie was always my favorite, man, as a kid. I love that shit.
Yeah, I used to. Nightmare Before Christmas was one when I was a kid. Same as Space Jam, I'd always watch it all the time. Like, it was constantly on repeat.
Space Jam.
And definitely, I'll say Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely one of those movies that, like, there are fans, and then there are the people who, like, this is a lifestyle. Like, there are people who really live this.
I mean,
you're rocking the skeleton socks.
Jack Skellington sock on.
I like that.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's big. It's been big, I think, since it's came out. Tim Burton movie.
Well, you know, if I haven't said it a billion times already throughout these episodes, I love stop motion animation, and this movie is definitely. And I know this isn't just me. This movie is definitely responsible for that love of stop motion animation.
Oh yeah,
as it is for just about any person who loves stop motion animation. I feel like it holds a special place in my heart because you know, some of my favorite movies are Coraline and Paranorman and pretty much all the Leica stuff, and I feel like that wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for you know, Nightmare Before Christmas.
That really was the
craftsmanship
one that I remember.
You know, I've got mad respect for stop motion animators because it's such patience and craftsmanship. You know, every little thing you see is handmade. Not to say, you know, things on a computer don't, you know, take that much time either. But
right.
It's just something about the fact that, like, somebody made these things with their hands. I mean, the clay that are
and that was back in the 90s too.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it was
even
the
then,
early days of it as well. Yeah, and I watched my copy on Blu-ray today, and it still looks incredible, man. I mean, I know you can see it like you can find this one on Disney Plus, of course. You can find it on Disney.
If you don't already own this one, know where it's at, like, this is one that I don't feel like we're gonna dive into the story too much,
right?
Because if you haven't seen this one,
we don't need to review this for you. I don't like it or you don't like it.
I don't think you'd even be on our channel.
Seen it yet, you know?
Well, like, if you're on our channel right now, I would assume you've probably seen this just as many times as we have.
Right.
Because this is one of those, like, have you not seen A Christmas Story, dude? You know what I'm saying? Have you not seen Rudolph? Like, to me, this is...
it's an essential Christmas classic.
You have to watch this shit every year. That's the only thing that always bugged me about this movie is a lot of motherfuckers watch it around Halloween. And I've been like, okay, I get it, and I get why you would, but, like...
There's an argument to be made. Is it a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie?
I always feel like it's one of those movies that I either watch around Christmas time or after Halloween. Because, like, to me, it's
I think
not...
that's when the perfect time. Because even in the movie, Halloween has just ended.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's, like, one of those good movies to watch... like the day after Halloween, like November 1st, when you're just chilling because, like, the mayor all sad. Like,
well, my November 1st is Coco. That's my I like to. It's Day of the Dead, so I like to watch Coco. That's my Disney movie. But if I had to double it up,
I get that.
I'd hit it with a Nightmare Before Christmas double feature for sure.
But that's the only thing for me. Like, that's why I say, like, I put it up with, like, the classic ones, you know, Rudolph and all that shit that I grew up watching. Absolutely. This was one of those that was like, but are we watching Nightmare Before Christmas too? And I always watched Batman Returns as a kid too, around Christmas, because why the fuck not? But this one, it's just a beautiful all around, dude. I think the soundtrack, baller shit. You could jam that shit on your own.
This is like, so what I feel like what I was trying to word with Anna and the Apocalypse, and what I had, like, my problem with their music was that this movie, you know, this is what I like about musicals, when the music has to do with what's happening in the scene. You know, there's a lot of that. It's music that I feel is progressing the story and stuff like that. And that's what I'm looking for in a musical. And the music, I mean, it's all a bop. Did you ever listen to the soundtrack they released, like with like Korn and Marilyn Manson?
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
Nightmare Revisited or something like that.
Yeah, where they do all the songs.
That's a good one. There's an extra recommendation.
The Marilyn Manson "This Is Halloween" is like just a classic.
There's a lot of good ones on that album, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good renditions.
There's a lot of good in this whole movie. Like I said, it's definitely huge. I mean,
it's a classic for a reason.
Fucking Blink-182 had lines about it. Fucking, I got a Jack Skellington tattoo on my arm. We love that shit over here, and this was one that I very much so enjoyed and was glad that we put this on the list, even though there was not very much slaying done in it. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
It is a Disney movie, for Christ's sake. So I mean, come on, bro.
There were a couple things that I want to talk about with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Let's do it.
One, let me just start by asking you, who directed Nightmare Before Christmas?
See, I always said Tim Burton.
And most people do. But as we fix the misconception about the Krampus sequels, allow us to fix your misconception about Tim Burton directing Nightmare Before Christmas, because it's simply not true. Today I found out he didn't even write the screenplay.
He just produced?
I think, to me, this all came out of his imagination. This was all his idea. Like the story, so that's why it is Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
But Henry Selick is the director, and he also directed Coraline.
Right.
Later in life.
That
and I
makes
believe
sense.
he's actually working on another stop motion movie right now with Key and Peele about a couple of demons.
Oh,
so
nice.
keep an eye out for that one.
I'll be fucking hyped to see that shit.
Yeah.
No, that's something I definitely didn't know. Because, obviously, like you said, it is always labeled Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
But I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So we're here to just, fix those.
I guess it would kind of be akin to how, most of the Marvel movies are Stan Lee's, properties and stuff like that. He didn't come in, write, and direct this, but he was the inspiration for some of these stories.
And even though we're doing 25 Slays, it is, in my opinion, it's Star Wars season. So let me, while we're on the topic, my mind was blown that the three original Star Wars, only one of them was directed by George Lucas.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuck me, right?
Wouldn't have known that.
I had no idea.
First one?
I couldn't even tell you who directed the other two. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
I couldn't either.
Pretty sure. Now I gotta fucking. I'm double.
I've never been into Star Wars. Maybe that's something we could get into at some point. Cause
Disney did this. They made December Star Wars season, but we're here for 25 Slaves of Christmas.
Yes.
Now the other thing I wanted to say, and I never thought I'd have a platform to say this on, but when Krampus came out in 2015, this was the early days of Disney making all their live action remakes and stuff. And when Krampus came out, one of the first thoughts I had, the first time I saw that movie, was this is a perfect example of how the live action Nightmare Before Christmas could work. I could definitely see if you took so Disney, if you're listening, get Michael Dougherty to direct that remake, because you're going to do it.
What, so instead of it focusing on the Halloween town and all that shit, it would just be like a family, and then it would just show all these ghouls and stuff when they're trying to take
No. I just mean the effects. The effects in Krampus are proof to me that you could do a live action Nightmare Before Christmas and make it look cool. With the characters and the effects, like the Krampus and all the toys and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I think with the right person these days they could. But I think that's.
I'm just saying that's a good template to use.
Yeah.
Disney, before you go and.
I think that's also one of those that if you ever did that.
And if he's not available, I am.
You better do it to a T, or people are gonna be like, "Fuck that," because that's one of those classics that I think if they ever try to touch. People are going to be like,
See, and that's one that, Disney usually wisely, just their live action remakes tend to be to the T, except for, when they've deviated, that's usually when people are like, what the fuck are you doing? Looking at you, Mulan. It had to be a musical, man. It needed to be a musical. But, I could definitely see where it could be done. And, Disney, if Michael Dougherty's not available, when we're done with Santa Claus Conquers the Martians remake, hit us up. We'll do Nightmare Before Christmas for you. Get a little bit of that Disney money. So it's a classy. What's your score here?
My score on this one, I think 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Very much a classic. All day, every day. Nothing bad about this movie I can think of off the top of my head. The only reason I'd give it a 9 out of 10 is maybe musicals ain't your thing.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't like the music aspect of it, but you should definitely like the rest of it.
I think, and maybe I'm just grasping for reasons here, but I would also give it a 9 out of 10, and maybe my reason is because it's only like an hour and 12 minutes.
He wanted more, Dan.
And I would say the pacing's fine. Like you get enough in those hour and 12 minutes for sure. I don't know if it needed to be longer, but I'm not just giving out 10 out of 10s over here.
No. Little kid me always wanted to see them do a sequel where they did a different holiday. Because they had that one, they had
the doors. It's like, you know what? That was something I was thinking about in that opening shot when it shows the doors and stuff. I thought about that, and I was like, I'm surprised that Disney has not done that yet. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, look at all those sequels. Just, I wouldn't personally. I see where you'd want to see it, but like for me, just don't do it, man.
Well, I mean, now, no, but I said little kid,
there's a lot of that
kid
going around
me.
these days, but little kid me definitely would have been like.
Like, even if you do it, like, I think if they did it now, the only way I'd be like, I fuck with that is if they did stop animation style again, but they did like little Disney Plus shorts of them trying to fuck with the other holidays. Cool, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But acknowledge how much time has passed. Like, well, 30 years ago we took over Christmas. It didn't work out too well, but let's try this again.
Mm-hmm. But didn't he, Santa made him promise not to do it to anybody else's holidays or some shit?
Fuck Santa. Nah, I'm kidding.
Whatever.
Santa, you're cool, I guess, dog. But yeah, 9 out of 10, man, all around. 9's all around. This is a great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet.
It's classic. It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
It should be in your DVD collection. If it's not, Blu-ray, 4K.
4K.
If you can.
They have it on sale probably everywhere, every time.
It's definitely the season to find it in the stores.
Yes, as well as tons of merchandise like socks.
Yeah.
As I pointed out earlier.
And yeah, if you're that big of a fan, I don't think I have to point you in the direction of Hot Topic to get everything you could ever want. Nightmare Before Christmas. So I think that wraps up Slay 16 with a bow.
Put it under the tree, bro.
Put it under the tree.